me go grab the ducks. So we just got our delivery from Liberty Farms in Sonoma. One of the first things we do in the morning, we process all of our proteins. Today's a little smaller delivery. We just got one case in, 6 ducks each. So we're going to process these bad boys, and we use the whole thing for service. Yeah, so when we started the ducks on the menu, we didn't think we were gonna be kind of a duck restaurant. It's like kind of our #1 seller every night.
In Vietnam, duck is a very popular ingredient. The duck itself is a take on a Vietnamese and Chinese roasted duck.
Yeah, so this was on the menu from day one. I think this is one of the first things that we put on the menu, but it kind of just grew.
Kingfisher is a Vietnamese French take through a California lens.
We opened Kingfisher in 2022 in Golden Hills, San Diego.
However you set them on the tray to start dry aging, that's kind of going to be the shape of the duck. So before I put them on the tray to start aging, I have to shape the kind of duck itself to make sure they're kind of nice and presentable. You could lose a lot of meat, and there's just a lot of fat to kind of hide exactly where like you need to go. So there's a little bit more kind of like space for error, I guess. This is our shoe chef, Sydney Imlay. She's pretty great. We're best friends. So this has been aging about 3 weeks, give or take a few days. And then there's so much loss of moisture. It's going to be a lot easier to sear. We can get a nice skin because all the moisture loss. The meat has intensified, and you'll develop like a much better, deeper, richer flavor.
So this is some local San Diego rockfish. It's going to be for our whole fried fish. What I'm doing right now is descaling the fish. It's kind of annoying, to tell you the truth, but it's part of just getting local ingredients and using the fish like as fresh as it could be. And it's part of just being in San Diego. You're in such close proximity to the ocean. Literally, this guy docks his boat down off of Broadway, which is about 1.5 miles from here. By the end of the day, this fish is gonna be fried up and served on a plate and looking a lot prettier than it does right now. I'm just kidding, it looks great. These guys are gorgeous. I think rockfish is my favorite variety of fish that we serve as like a whole fried fish. By far my favorite, so good. So ideally, you're not gonna pierce any of the guts here. Just go in with your scissors. You pretty much pull it all out. I'll put it back in the walk-in so later we can trim off the rest of the fins, and then we'll season it, skewer it, and then it'll be ready to eat tonight.
Yeah, so Chef Sydney's making our house-made egg noodles. This is the newest dish on the menu. I think one of the better sellers now, if not the top seller. I think it's my new favorite dish, to be honest. It's super simple.
Before I started here, I had never cooked Vietnamese food. I had never thought about cooking Vietnamese food. Obviously, I love pho. So I come from a French culinary background. I had pretty much always cooked French food or Californian cuisine, which is just like heavily seasonal produce based, but you kind of have the option of bringing in all sorts of influences from different cultures. And then when I came here, it was Vietnamese French. And I was like, okay, I get the French part, but I knew nothing about Vietnamese food. Just the process of learning so much about a different cuisine, having to really like challenge yourself to be in this box of like, it all has to be Vietnamese food has been like a really big journey for me. And it's been pretty hard, like to tell you the truth. Everybody wants you to be something, and they really want you to be like, oh, my grandma taught me this. So, you know, like they want that story. And it's like, I don't have that story for you, but like, I can also make you some really good food if you want to eat it.
I think most restaurants take the breast off the crown and then sear them, but we find it develops a lot more flavor if you leave them on the crown. But we just find that you develop a deeper, richer flavor. There's a lot of small things that kind of matters with the dish. Like it's really simple, but little things kind of along the way really help develop the dish into like what it is. And one of it being like we take so much care in the little things, and aging them on the crown will make it juicier. And then it's like, why not just cook them on the crown, and then you get a better product. We kind of have like a nice color, and then this is when I'll kind of utilize the entire pan. I'll kind of start doubling up at this point because I'm just trying to sear kind of the sides at this point. So Yeah, so when we first opened, we were only allowed to do one duck at a time, just so everything was kind of perfect. And Chef Sid, actually, when she came on, I came in one day, I think she was doing 3 ducks at a time. I was like, this is crazy. I was like, you're breaking the rules. And then I was like kind of against it at first, but it works. I'll cook 6 at a time now. To me, it's a small kitchen space. So we want to get as much done as we can before the cooks come in. Because once the cooks come in, this is their territory, this is their space. So I want to get all of this part done here, cooking everything, and then I'll kind of get out of the way and kind of stay on the other side of the pass. So that's looking pretty good. So the sides are done on this, guys. So I'm just gonna sear that bottom side and kind of get that little tail. Yeah, so this one's probably ready to go right here. Just a nice full even brown all the way around. My parents are gonna be mortified seeing this. That was a big thing with me for some reason. When I first started cooking, I would come home with all these scars. My parents were like, my parents were telling me to wear long sleeves. Every time I get a new scar, my mom would like borderline cry every time. She's like, can you be a mailman? So this is some abalone that one of our purveyors hooked us up with today. So we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do with them. So we just have enough for a special for one day, so we're gonna get these guys cleaned up. We haven't run these before, so this is gonna be kind of our first time running them in Vietnamese food. Doesn't really, I don't think has abalone normally, but we'll kind of do our own take and spin on them. Yeah, so after we get these guys cleaned up, we'll cook one up, see if it's any good, see if we want to run it for service today. Yeah, and we'll get together with the owners, Ki and Kim, to see if they like it, if it's Vietnamese enough for them. So we got these abalones in this morning. I was thinking just simply grilling them and then using some plum vinegar, white soy sauce. Cilantro flowers are really nice right now.
Fish sauce and Thai chilies into the plum vinegar.
Yeah, that'll turn into a vinaigrette. That'll be nice.
Yeah.
We'll cook the first one and see how it is. I kind of like kind of hard texture, almost like ears or whatever. Yeah, I think it's ready. We're just gonna slice it thin and then put it on the shell. Yeah, we just have some nasturtiums and then we have some plum vinegar. Just make a little sauce on the fly. We have some red boat fish sauce. Yeah, the allium oil. Just super intensified garlic shallots. The best ones like the egg noodles. It's kind of like first or second try. I don't want to force it too hard. I think if it's not perfect. Basically, it's grilled abalone, cuniform radishes, nasturtiums, crystallized iceberg plant, cilantro flowers, and then there's white soy and plum vinegar. Yeah, so go ahead and try it. Let me know what you think. What do you think about the texture? That was the thing I was most worried about, I think.
I really like the texture. Like that's
Yeah.
very street food.
I think that was kind of the idea behind it.
Yeah, and I like the texture a lot.
Awesome. I think we can work with this, and we'll kind of just play with it and work on it for the
Yeah, I think
tasting
it should be
menu.
a tasting menu thing.
Yeah. So yeah, now we're gonna go smoke our ducks out back on our little Traeger grill. We'll smoke these guys on here for initially 30 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll glaze with the palm sugar every 15 until it reaches 140. This is the last step in our whole fried fish. I'm getting ready for service. I'm just going to score them. We're gonna season them. This is one of the most classic Vietnamese dishes there is on the menu. We'll kind of skewer these up and then it'll get plated just like this. We might actually have to find new plates to serve them on because these guys are huge. I think this guy's like kind of ridiculous. We might have to put this on a platter. Everything is 135 to 140, so that's what we're looking for. Yeah, everything's ready to go. I'm gonna glaze it one more time and then I'll pull it off. Yeah, so this is Abel. He's our main grill guy, so what he's gonna do is he's using our duck spice and he's finishing coating the ducks after we smoke them so it sticks because we put a little bit of palm sugar. So we're just gonna flash them in the oven. The spices aren't toasted, so when we flash them, it'll kind of like tighten up the skin and toast the outside of the spices. Right before service, this is what we do just to get everything ready and seamless. I don't think this fish is gonna fit in this bowl, Abel. So when we get the order in, the fish takes a little minute, so even if it's on back, we'll kind of drop it and kind of hold it in a warm spot just to be ready, especially like with something like this. It'll take closer to like 10 minutes to fry all of a minute. Barely wants to fit. It's crazy. Straight fire egg noodles.
Drop my noodles as soon as the order comes in, and then we're gonna take a spoonful of butter, a large handful of sliced garlic. We're gonna let this sweat down. We're gonna add in our noodle sauce, made with vegan fish sauce, vegan oyster sauce, tamari, some lemongrass saute. Let that caramelize, and that's when it's gonna give it a little more depth of flavor. By the time the sauce is done, usually our noodles will be done. You're gonna get a little bit of that pasta water in there to emulsify our sauce, just a little bit, and then add our noodles in. We're gonna finish it with some lemon juice, and then that's it. Nice freshly cut negi on top, soft poached egg on the inside, a little bit of espelette, and then I slide it over to Chef in the past, and he's gonna finish it with truffles.
So we just shave 2 grams of black winter truffles on there. Yeah, so that's the dish right there. House-made egg noodles with garlic, soft poached egg, and winter truffles. Straight fire, whole fish.
Dude, this thing's huge. This is not gonna fit on the plate. Have our ginger sweet and sour sauce. It's garlic, ginger, rice wine vinegar, fish sauce, sugar. We just bathe it in this sauce. And this guy's really big, so he needs a lot. Then we garnish it with cilantro. I always feel like the cilantro is the seaweed and the fish is swimming out of the ocean. It's got like a nice crown of cilantro on top. Yeah, it's whole fried fish, our local San Diego rock cod, straight out of the ocean.
So this is ginger sweet and sour noodles, so essentially rice noodles with the same sauce. And then this is black vinegar marinated cucumbers with crispy garlic. And lastly, that is pickled green papaya. Walking in, straight fire duck. Kels, can I get a duck salad, please? Abel's gonna take breast off the crown right now.
I think it's important to keep that creative momentum going. Keep creating new dishes. Food is evolving. We're changing all the time.
So the condiments, nukmam chimichurri is what we're calling it. The duck XO, just a bunch of dried seafood and pork, essentially, with duck jus. So he's glazing it right now, giving it the final glaze of the palm sugar. And that kind of balances out nicely with all the spices on the duck. Finish it with the sauce, and we're gonna put that confit duck leg right on the side. Now we have what wasn't originally like a Vietnamese dish, and now it eats super Vietnamese with the lettuce, the herbs, and then all the sauces. That's the duck.
Our mom, our aunts, they're always putting new dishes onto the table, telling us to eat, you know, and so that's something that we love to see. And when we see that, it makes us feel like we've accomplished something.
This is like for us to pay homage to our parents.